the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
So here are the Saints with a long field ahead. They'll be under the command of the former Florida State Seminole, the #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll use his blockers to get this up over the 20 to the 21. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Winston. And they're able to get this one across the 35. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not I just handle this one? Got all the yards he needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Winston again. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
So after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas.
And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara.
They'll get it across midfield down to the 49.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Kamara. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Winston. He's got a man. It's Tajay Sharp. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 24-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
2nd down, and it's Kamara again. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Jameis now on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sean Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal will feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Throwing, Winston. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. It was sacked to Lorenzo Carter.
Well, it's up to how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. And this a 39-yard attempt. Sanders' kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have a former Heisman Trophy winner calling the shots, hailing from the island of Oahu in Hawaii, Marcus Mariota.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Mariota on 1st down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. From the 25 on 2nd down, Mariota. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing, Mariota. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive, then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. The Falcons send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And from down in Miami, an update. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Winston throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. On play action, Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. David Onyemata there on the tackle. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down.
They run it again with Kamara. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. Now Winston.
Complete to Olave on the out route. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The kick by Sanders is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16.
Singletary loses it, and this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone, a fumble return, and a Saint touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble, they get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Let's spotlight Devin Singletary as this offense comes back out.
Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
A good running there by Kamara on first down as he takes this ahead for a gain of 5. Kamara gets it again on second down.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Kamara trying the right side. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown.
Alvin Kamara.
His first touchdown of the new season as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So that drive, 4 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This will be fielded inside the 5. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota.
And complete to Drake London.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Mariota. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mariota. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
The sack backs him up, so now Mariota in Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long.
He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 18.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive. It's a quick first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Winston. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Arnold Ebiketie from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
And down he goes again. A bevy of sacks in less than a half. But this defense is still losing the game. They've got to fix something, because there should be no excuse for losing with an effort like this on that side of the ball. They need to take advantage, and their defense is generating this kind of pressure so early in the game.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. A give. This is Kamara. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
4th down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints now on top. As we sit here,
Thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope. We talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Singletary trying the left side. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. From just shy of midfield, Mariota. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. On third and short, they'll try option left.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
When teams have a tough time running the ball as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Here's Mariota.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
They'll start at the 40, so great starting field position following the interception.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up first and 10 at the 40. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. To throw again on second down, Winston. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Winston. They'll set up the screen down to Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage. And now 3rd and 11 coming up.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, you're crediting the defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
And it will be Falcon football.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw Mariota. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again.
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down.
That's complete to Troutman right side.
And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
Intercepted by the Saints.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Following the interception, Winston. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Now it's a bootleg with Winston. And that will be incomplete. Giving to the big tight end on 4th. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Winston. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete.
And the Saints are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Kamara will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1. Again, Kamara. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Winston. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. David Onyemata able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. This from 25 yards out. Sanders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So all things considered, that's not the final nail, but it does make things exceedingly difficult now on the other side.
Yeah, because obviously now with a 16-point game, the other guys don't need just 2 touchdowns. They need a couple of 2-point conversions as well. Plus, they'll need either a turnover or an onside kick in there somewhere. So you're just adding to the list of things that need to happen in sequence. And it's going to be a pretty tall order this late in the game.
Atlanta regains possession of the football. Now this offense trying to change the script here a little bit, CD. Trailing on the scoreboard, and the last time out on the very first play of the drive, they threw that interception.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal from the 1. The carry here for the big tight end. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is why I've never been a big fan of trying to get too cute down here by the goal line. For every one time something like this works, it seems like it blows up about 10 times. And sure enough, they'll wind up losing yards here.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. On the ground with a tight end. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal. Winston toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Alvin Kamara
with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list.
And the Saints look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
So out come the Falcons now.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Throwing is Mariota. And he's going to go down again.
No stopping Peyton Turner on that sack. He would not be denied.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
The sack backs him up, so now Mariota in Atlanta dealing with a 3rd and long.
He'll drop to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. And it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. So here are the Saints to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On the ground, Kamara. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's able to get the 1st here as he's taken down at the 25.
88 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15.
The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Second and 6 from the 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
He was brought down at the 8-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
So this one a victory.